Hello everyone, it's the Fantasy Football Almanac here, back at it with another Best Ball Draft video. Today we're hopping in a Best Ball Mania 3 draft on Underdog Fantasy, hoping to get some good players. We're launching in with pick 8 here, meaning we can get somebody like Stephon Diggs, Austin Eckler, or Derrick Henry with the 8th pick, which I am looking forward to. Here we're probably going to have either Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey coming off the board here at 1. Jonathan Taylor does come off. Now Broncos 2015 is up. I've seen a lot more people taking Christian McCaffrey at 1 lately, which I can't personally advise. I mean, his ceiling is actually insane. It's league record breaking. But Jonathan Taylor's isn't that far behind. And Jonathan Taylor, a much, much, much safer option. Likely will finish as the running back 1 again this season. At least that's the hope. One drafting at the 101 or the 102. I think he's a very strong player. Here we have pretty standard order right now, actually exactly down to ADP. Christian McCaffrey, then Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson. Now most likely Jamar Chase here at pick 5. Here we're drafting with Jetto, Broncos 2015, a can opener, Slidell, G out Tigers, something like that. Also, we're coming up the board to pick 6 to Jake Cork. The soup is hot. Me, Ravens Lord, Triple Toe, Grasshoppers, and Tim Schemes. Here we are up, and we're going to take Stephon Diggs here with the 8th pick. I was assuming I was either going to get Stephon Diggs or Derrick Henry. I do prefer Stephon Diggs here slightly, but I do think Derrick Henry is still a great pick here. You know, I can't be mad either way. Derrick Henry, obviously, last year had one of the craziest seasons we've ever seen, or craziest first half starts to a season that we've ever seen. I had him in my home league and was very, very happy with what he was doing up until the injury, which was very unfortunate. And I think that is why Derrick Henry's falling all the way to 7. He probably, realistically, could have been top 5 had it not been for that injury. But I do think it is reasonable to see him at 7, especially now injury concerns are a possibility here. DeAndre Swift coming off the board at 10, which is nice. Nice to see for us at least. Maybe we get a little bit of value falling to us at 17. Potentially end up probably with Saquon Barkley here. Somebody like that, I would assume. Saquon Barkley, potentially Joe Mixon. I mean, Joe Mixon would be absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if Joe Mixon is going to fall to us here. Devontae Adams and Mike Evans means it is possible we will get either a CeeDee Lamb or Joe Mixon here. It's not likely still. Oh, or Travis Kelce. There are still 3 players on the board like that. So I'm hoping one of these 2 does fall to us. If Travis Kelce fell to us at 17, that would have been amazing. But now we do have a potential to get either CeeDee Lamb or Joe Mixon here. It is not insanely likely, in which case we will probably go Saquon Barkley and secure a great running back. But either way, can't be too mad. I would probably prefer to get another wide receiver here, albeit slightly. Maybe I could go Debo here as well. Either way, can't be too mad. CeeDee Lamb coming off the board here. We will see if Ravens Lord goes Joe Mixon. If not, we're taking Joe Mixon. We're pretty much torn between these 2 players. It is possible that he goes Aaron Jones here. I could definitely see that as well, Ravens Lord. In which case, we will just go Joe Mixon and be fine with it. Joe Mixon does come off the board here, so we are taking Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, absolutely phenomenally talented running back. It is kind of weird to see him getting pushed so far up boards as he has been. It is a little annoying, especially because I was taking him all the way at pick, 28, 27. You could even see him fall. I got him one time at pick 35. I mean, that was just absolutely insane. Now he's being pushed all the way back up on these boards, all the way up to pick 17. That's usually what happens in these best ball drafts. Christian McCaffrey is going all the way at pick 8 or 9. Now he's all the way up at pick 2, sometimes 1. I mean, people forget about the injuries that burned them so badly last year and start to say, oh, Saquon Barkley does have the potential. Which is what we should be doing all along, honestly. Like I think taking Saquon Barkley at 26, 27 was an absolute steal when he was going there. Like, I'm shocked people were letting him fall that far. I mean, it really just made no sense to me. But here we have Deebo Samuel, Aaron Jones, Mark Andrews going at pick 18. I'm glad to see Mark Andrews going a little earlier in this draft. I did see him fall all the way to pick 27, which actually boggles my mind. I mean, if I were drafting here, I would be taking Mark Andrews pretty much over all these people. That's why I've been hoping for some early picks, because Mark Andrews has been falling more and more. And if I have the potential to pair up somebody like Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews, I will. My mouth is watering just thinking about that. Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews, and then somebody like Nick Chubb or Keenan Allen, uh, T. Higgins maybe. There's a lot of guys that I think could pair up well. T. Higgins will fall all the way to 26, something you don't usually see too often. Michael Pittman, again, people love their Pittman. Michael Pittman coming all the way up at 24 here. Alvin Kamara at 25, meaning there are some reaches here, and we might be able to pick up some value because of it. DJ Moore coming off the board at pick 27. It is possible we end up with Keenan or Chubb here. Although fairly unlikely we end up with a lot of them falling to us. We may just have one fall to us. I imagine AJ Brown will probably be off the board by the time we pick. If not, I would be a little disappointed. I'm not really too huge on AJ Brown this year, just in terms of the fact that it's mainly going to be a very high rushing offense. I don't think AJ Brown's really going to be receiving the ball as much as people think he is. Then again, I mean, so was the Titans. But in this situation, they do have Devonta Smith, a more talented wide receiver at this point in his career than Julio Jones. Julio Jones, obviously, absolute beast. All right, so here we do have a pretty decent chance of getting one of these two. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick Nick Chubb here, just very slightly. But we do end up getting Keenan Allen instead, which I'm more than fine with. Now I just hope one of these two guys fall to us, or even Kyle Pitts falls. If not, we do have very good wide receivers coming our way, and a lot of good running backs as well. I do like this team a lot. Kyle Pitts coming off the board here at pick 33. It's been a pretty interesting draft so far. People are not afraid to get the guys that they want, i.e. Alvin Kamara and Michael Pittman here. I do think Alvin Kamara is definitely a value now again. Like, if I'm scooping him again at pick 34 or something like that, like, I'll gladly take him there. Travis Etienne does come off the board as well. Cortland Sutton. We're probably going to see a little bit of wide receivers and James Conner fill in here in the next couple of picks. I imagine James Conner has to go here, either at 36 or 37. Marquise Brown coming off at 36. James Conner still on the board. Jalen Waddle still on the board. Deontay Johnson. We would be fine with a lot of people here. I think Deontay Johnson's probably who we're going to end up with, just based on how everything's most likely going to shake out. But it is possible Tim Schemes probably, probably will take James Conner or Jalen Waddle. But if he does like Terry McLaurin, which he does, oh my god, or Ezekiel Elliott, there is a possibility we get James Conner or Jalen Waddle, which I would really like. I don't think, actually, it is kind of possible that we get James Conner here. This guy has two running backs. This guy has two running backs. Grasshoppers only has James Conner does come off the board here. Damn. This guy's got two running backs though. This guy has two running backs. So it is possible. We get Jalen Waddle or Deontay Johnson, but it's not really as likely now. Just a little annoying. I'm hoping Zeke comes off the board. I'm not trying to take Zeke here. I think Jalen Waddle would probably be our best option here. Absolute target machine. Guy got 104 receptions his freshman season. I mean, the rookie class was absolutely absurd last year. All right, so now we're guaranteed either Jalen Waddle or Deontay Johnson. Here I do prefer Jalen Waddle slightly because he is entering his second year into Jalen Waddle does come off the board here. But I think him or Deontay Johnson are very fine picks because they are absolute target machines. Now, we don't pick again until 56. There are some other good wide receivers that I like at pick 56. Whether that be Darnell Mooney or Rashad Bateman. Or I think the running backs in that range are really good too. If I can land somebody like David Montgomery or J.K. Dobbins, one of those guys. But I'm unsure as to who I can land there at this point. There hasn't been too many quarterbacks off the board yet. This is usually around where Justin Herbert falls. So we do have Zeke coming off the board at pick 42. This guy's got pretty much the exact opposite strategy as us. I mean, he's got all running backs. We have pretty much all wide receivers. I kind of like to do this with pick 8. I think pick 8's one of those picks where you never really can land crazy good running back value. So it is better to go with wide receivers that fall to you. Lamar Jackson comes off the board early at pick 43. He's probably planning on pairing him up with Rashad Bateman at pick 54, meaning we most likely will not be getting Rashad Bateman here. Now, this guy can go any number of ways. I would imagine he's probably trying to get a running back here, and he does. He goes Breece Hall. Snydell can go in a number of directions too. My absolute guess, this is just a complete guess, is I'm going to say Justin Herbert here. I think it is possibly goes Justin Herbert. I could definitely see it. But I really have no idea. It is an interesting team combination. I do really like this team combination with Jamar Chase, Debo, Josh Allen, and Brees Hall. I think it's actually like a really, really good team right there that this guy's built. Pick 45 coming off the board. It is Justin Herbert. Wow, I'm on a two-pick streak. Now I'm gonna guess Cam Akers comes off the board here again, just based solely off intuition and my pick streak of Brees Hall and Justin Herbert. I didn't get to say anything for Allen Robinson because he picked him right away. So we're gonna guess Cam Akers here. I do think Cam Akers has been falling a fair amount. I was able to get him at pick 63 in a draft. I know, don't be too jealous, but I think Cam Akers is an absolute beast, and I don't get why his draft stock's falling so far. I mean, he's the only guy that can come back from a torn Achilles and somehow fall down draft boards because he tore his Achilles and came back in the same season. He looked bad, I will admit. I think everybody saw the Super Bowl. I think everybody saw him in the playoffs. He did not look that good, and that's okay. He came off a torn Achilles, and they still had the confidence to give him all the work that they did. Cam Akers, I would be so happy if I can get him. Or George Kittle. David Montgomery too would be nice. Imagining we're not getting Rashad Bateman. That would be really nice too. There's a lot of guys in this range that I really, really like. And then there's definitely a substantial tier drop off from there, which is a little annoying. But that is okay. I mean, you still hope to get somebody like decent enough, but there is definitely once you get past like pick 63-ish, maybe 62, there's a tier drop off. Cam Akers comes off the board here. We're hoping for David Montgomery here, I think. That would really be a best case scenario. And George Kittle comes off the board too. If not, I'm fine with any of the wide receivers on the board. But we do already have three great wide receivers in Diggs, Keenan, and Deontay. I would really, really like to get a nice running back here. Maybe even two. If I could double up 56 and 65 and get two good backs, I'd be fine with that. Not exactly sure I'd be able to get 65. Probably Josh Jacobs, potentially Josh Jacobs. But not 100% sure. Josh Jacobs off the board here, so we can't take Josh Jacobs, which is, I guess, fine. That means more value may fall to us at 65. We got 13 seconds left on a Go Tigers pick. Gout Tigers? I don't know. I'm on St. Brown coming off the board, and we were right about the Lamar and Rashad Bateman stack. Pretty smart. DK Metcalf coming off the board. We're going to take Dave Montgomery here. Absolute beast. Could trade carries for targets. Ooh, okay. I'm fine with that. If Dave Montgomery gets more targets, we are happy people as fantasy owners. So now we have two great running backs, three go wide receivers, usually how we like to draft. And now we can hope for a number of guys to fall to us in the next round. We have 8 picks until we pick again. So it is possible that we can get some good value to fall to us. We do like 5 or 6 guys in this range. If we get a few more reaches here, it would be great. I mean, I would love like a Devonta Smith to go off the board. Somebody like that. That would be awesome. Brandon Cooks comes off the board at pick 57. Not a reach there. And DK Metcalf at 55. Amon-Ra St. Brown has absolutely been getting pushed up draft boards. He had an absolutely phenomenal performance towards the end of the season. And I thought he was even going to be going higher than this. Like, I could have pictured him going higher than Gabe Davis at the end of last season. After the whole playoff situation and everything included with Gabe Davis. But I would have pictured him to be going off the board higher than Gabe Davis, and that's just not the case. And the reason why is because offense is just totally not the same as the Bills, for one. And two, they did bring in Jameson Williams, who should have a pretty good rookie year. I mean, he will be injured for a pretty fair portion of his rookie year, but for the part he's not. I mean, he will be snatching touches from Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that's during the weeks that matter. J.K. Dobbins coming off the board, pick 60. Elijah Mitchell at pick 61. We do have these running backs coming off, which is kind of what we like to see. Now there's a couple people we'd like. We really have our eyes on 2 people, and there's 3 picks left. Juju would also be nice if he comes to us. We just need one more reach. One more reach, and we're absolutely guaranteed a great player. Either way, I mean, I would take Juju here. I would not be mad with Juju at all. I really don't own too much Juju, but it's because I like other receivers in this range. But if Juju falls, I would be totally fine with that, and I would gladly take Juju. I would like Dalton Schultz here, I guess, but I don't know. I think this is too high to be taking Dalton Schultz here. At this point, his ADP is going up high enough, so I probably am hoping for Juju or Jalen. Juju comes off the board. I'm imagining Jalen will come off the board here. This guy's a tight end in Kyle Pitts. This guy's got a pretty well-rounded team. I don't love it, but I think it's good. I think it's like a solid roster. I'm hoping he doesn't go Jalen Hurts here. I really would like Jalen Hurts, pick 65. If not, he goes Amari Cooper. We're getting Jalen Hurts. If not, I don't know what we would have done. I think we probably would have had to have reached on Dalton a bit, but I don't know. I think Dalton's ADP is going to be falling just a tiny bit. And then here we got Adam Thielen, a guy I'm perpetually too low on. Adam Thielen, a guy who defies everything when it comes to getting touchdowns, and that's been year in and year out. But now, you got Justin Jefferson coming into yet another year of prominence. You got great running backs. I just can't advise taking Adam Thielen at this point in his career. He's 29 years old. I just can't advise it as high as he's going. When you have guys like Russell Gage, who's going to be in a much better offense, and for at least the first couple weeks of the season, going to be a more profitable wide receiver to take. Hunter Renfrow coming off the board at pick 69. Wow. Hunter Renfrow. Oh my god. Hunter Renfrow. I'm absolutely fading Hunter Renfrow this season. I've seen people say that Hunter Renfrow will still be getting targets with Davante Adams in that offense, and that is true. That's very true. But Davante Adams is an absolute target machine. He's the only wide receiver I've ever seen consistently, very consistently, get 30% of the target share week in and week out, every time, and an absolute touchdown machine while I'm at it. He's also got Darren Waller, another mouth to feed, Jack Jacobs in the receiving game. I just think there's too many mouths to feed in that offense for me to touch Hunter Renfrow at this point. At least at this ADP. If he were going further, if he were going at like 104 or 113, I would be all over Hunter Renfrow. But at this point, taking him at like pick 83 doesn't really seem that appealing to me when there are other options that have way less target competition than Hunter Renfrow has with better QBs. Elijah Moore coming off the board at pick 72. Pretty interesting pick. Antonio Gibson at 71. Somebody I would have liked. Again, I've been pounding the drum on Antonio Gibson at this range because I do think he's better than people are probably giving him credit for at this point. At first, in the offseason, I was fading him. Now I think it's the total opposite. Now I think I'm pounding the absolute horn on him. Devonta Smith, pick 73. Coming off the board here. Guy I'm fading, personally. Just not enough volume in that offense. I think this team is really interesting. We get Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, and Deontay Johnson, which is a pretty good combo. You know, three like very safe wide receivers, three receivers that you know are getting targets. I mean, these three wide receivers could combine for 400 targets pretty easily, probably even more. And Saquon Barkley, another guy who can get massive amounts of targets. I mean, these guys were talking probably 550 targets between the four of these guys next season if Saquon Barkley is fully healthy. Dave Montgomery less so, and Jalen Hurts is going to be rushing like no other quarterback in the entire NFL. Allen Lazard coming off the board, then A.J. Dillon. We're basically up again. We got our choice of a couple of players here, whether this be Drake London, Russell Wilson, or Trey Lance. These are the main three I'd probably want to take. I'm assuming I'm going to take Trey Lance here, honestly, over Drake London at this point, because we do have three great wide receivers, and I would like to get a fire quarterback too. I think, honestly, taking Trey Lance and Jalen Hurts is like such a nice combination to have, because they're the upside on both of these players is absolutely insane. They could very easily, and we are going to take Trey Lance here, they could very easily pop off and control each other's down weeks with absolutely insane weeks. Because rushing quarterbacks, they do have more down weeks, but the boom is way bigger with these rushing quarterbacks. That's why I like Lamar a lot. I mean, Lamar could easily drop 35 on any given week. Whereas passing quarterbacks don't really have the upside to drop 35 in most weeks in fantasy. It is possible they do, of course, but it's way less likely. The down weeks are a little bit more down if the rushing isn't going well, and if they aren't throwing the ball as much. But it's few and far between, especially when you have two of them that really boost your ceiling. Now we got Tony Pollard and Dak Prescott. We kind of are forcing these quarterbacks up a little bit, which is good. Getting Trey Lance and Russell off the board, now Dak. We are hoping for more and more of these quarterbacks to be coming off the board here. And if you guys are still listening, please, if you guys could, go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know how I did in this draft. please, and if you could, it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe. I really do. I cherish every single subscriber, every single one of you guys. Any advice you want to give me, anything, please just let me know in the comments. But anyways, back to the video. Tom Brady coming off the board here at pick 84. Pick 85 is now on the board. We've got a lot of quarterbacks coming off here. And now these two guys right in a row, they have no quarterbacks. So I'm imagining they're probably going to be almost forced to take Matt Stafford here. Be almost forced to take Stafford and Rodgers here probably and Derek Carr. Derek Carr's been probably passed. Derek Carr has passed. Derek Carr's passed Aaron Rodgers at this point. It's very slight, but it is there. We got Michael Thomas, Ayuk, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the board. We also have T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson now off the board. I was just going to keep talking about him. But I do think he's a value at this point. We're probably going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire, though. Get a running back that can at least provide some support for us. And we are going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. And we got 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and 2 quarterbacks. Our tight end position is absolutely desolate right now. But there is some good, actually great ranges to take tight ends at pick 128 and pick 137, which allows us at pick 104 and 113 to really target these wide receivers that are going to be off the board, like a Sky Moore. Maybe we even get Chase Edmonds. And then we go for Irv Smith probably later. Go for Irv Smith, Freiermuth, Mike Gesicki, all that. That whole range is, like, I think pretty good, honestly. From Irv Smith to Mike Gesicki, I would be comfortable with any one of these guys at tight end. Hopefully, preferably 2 of them. But either way. Now, we got a little bit of a run on running backs coming off the board. Kareem Hunt, Devin Singletary, Damian Harris. So it might be a little tough for us to end up with Chase Edmonds here. Maybe he doesn't fall to us, which would be a little annoying. I think Chase Edmonds is the last back that could maintain a feature role in his offense, or has a pretty high probability to be nearly a workhorse back. I don't think he will be a workhorse back, but I think he will at least be getting some pretty heavy duties, at least on receiving game. And then, my philosophy on it is that Chase Edmonds probably will be getting almost every single valuable touch in that offense. He's not going to be getting every touch, but he'll be getting a lot of the receiving work, hopefully a lot of the goal line work too. And he'll hopefully have 200 carries-ish about. I don't know exactly how they're going to divide it, but they like to have their running backs in a workhorse type role, and he's a favorite for the lead role. So I think it is possible. He was injured last year, which was unfortunate. Unless you were a James Conner owner, then it was very, very fortunate. But either way, I think Chase Edmonds is a good pickup here at this point. And we get our 4th running back, making sure our room is pretty much good. We won't really have to worry about any other running backs for the rest of the draft. Potentially, it is possible that at 113 we do snag maybe a tight end here, like Dawson Knox if he's still on the board. I don't know if he will be. There's a lot of ways we could go with it. Chase Edmonds is off the board here, a little unfortunate. Maybe we do secure a tight end. I'm a little hesitant to get 2 tight ends here, but if I get 1 tight end here, probably Dallas Goedert because of the stack with Jalen Hurts. Here, Dawson Knox coming off the board as well. It is possible Dallas Goedert does get taken by Jake Cork here. Now he goes Zach Ertz. So it is possible we can get Dallas Goedert here. And we have a very, very well-rounded team. This is one of the most well-rounded teams I've ever drafted. There's really no weaknesses here. Even Dallas Goedert, not a fabulous tight end. He did get 830 yards last year. And at this point, he will at least be a somewhat serviceable tight end. Now here, we're probably going to take Christian Watson, the guy we've been taking every time at this range, just absolutely hammering him. And our team is so well-rounded that we could definitely afford to do so. We have been absolutely hammering Christian Watson in drafts this year. I think Christian Watson is one of the most undervalued people to draft in fantasy football redraft this year. I'm going to make a video on him soon, I'm pretty sure. Leave a like if you think should make a video on Christian Watson, kind of detailing why I think he will be a complete breakout candidate this year. Either way, we have Christian Watson hopefully going to be able to make it back to us at pick 113. It is possibly goes, but I have seen him fall all the way to pick 118, 117. I've even seen him go to round 11, which disgusts me. Kenneth Walker is actually not the favorite to start this year. It's Ramondre Stevenson who is the favorite to start this year. Or not Ramondre Stevenson, sorry. Rashad Penny is the favorite to start this year in Seattle. But Rashad Penny, one of the most, I hate to use the word injury prone because I don't fully believe in being injury prone. I think it's a little bit of a myth. But if there is one running back that is injury prone, his name is probably Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny has played 4 seasons in the NFL and started 6 games. Let me repeat that. 4 seasons in the NFL and started 6 games. Other than that, been constantly injured, hampered with injuries his whole career. And they just Kenneth Walker in the second round. So they obviously think Kenneth Walker will eventually be the guy to take over that offense. And although it's a pretty bad offense, if you're getting feature back touches in an offense, which Seattle tends to like a workhorse back, you're getting production no matter what. That's really what it comes down to. If you're getting workhorse production, no matter what, even if you get 20 carries, 60 yards, most likely you're getting a touchdown too. And a reception or two. So you're getting at least like decent work. And that's bottom of the barrel running backs. Those are 3-yard a carry. Frank Ward, 33 years old type running backs. You're probably going to be doing a bit better than that. You're probably going to have 80 to 100 yards and a few receptions at this point. With the way running backs have been trending. Here we got Irv Smith coming off the board. That is a little honestly concerning. But we should hopefully be able to get a good tight end at 128. I'm hoping for it. If it gets to a position where Cole Kmet and all of them are still on the board, I probably will wait until 137 to try and get one of those guys. But if not, I think we'll probably just end up taking Freiermuth here at 128. I would hope for oh my God, Garrett Wilson still on the board too. Wow, we are 6 picks away from potentially getting Garrett Wilson now. If this happens, oh my God, oh man, this would be awesome. I don't think it will. I'm almost positive we're not getting Garrett Wilson at pick 128. But if we do, whew, oh my God. Considering we were debating Garrett Wilson over Christian Watson a round ago, and now he's almost on the board for us yet again. Tua Tagovailoa, they're teasing me. They are absolutely teasing me with this Garrett Wilson right now. I can tell. Fantasy gods won't let me have something that good. I mean, come on, there's just no way. It'd be too overpowered of a team. It'd be way too overpowered. And the thumbnail, oh my God. Garrett Wilson and Christian Watson, the thumbnail, 2 green players. Oh man. Dameon Pierce coming off the board at pick 123. Garrett Wilson at pick 124. Whew. Ooh. Oh my God. Would have been nice. Would have been real nice. Now there's 2 players we really like, Michael Gallup and Madison. If they don't fall to us, we probably will take Freiermuth here. But both these players would be pretty nice. Gallup, again, going to be injured for the first couple weeks of the season, but should hopefully take over as the wide receiver 2 in that offense, if all goes according to plan. Oh, wow, what a reach. Oh my God, oh, that's painful. Oh man, that's painful. Brian Robinson here, 3rd string running back, potentially 2nd string running back. Here we pick 125. This guy must have a premonition from God if he thinks taking Brian Robinson there is smart or is sensible at all. I just have to disagree. Here we are going to go Gallup or Madison. Kind of leaning towards... Usually I like Gallup here. But I'm kind of leaning towards Madison right now. I think I might go Madison here, honestly. At this point, I do think Madison easily, I would say, the best backup you could have pretty much. In terms of like pure backup role, like Tony Pollard can like start sometimes. A.J. Dillon starts sometimes. In terms of pure backups where they get no touches when the starting back is healthy, but when injured, gets every single touch in that offense. Madison, all the way. Oh my God. He gets every single touch in that offense when Dalvin Cook is down. It's basically like getting a free workhorse running back if Dalvin Cook goes down in the 11th round. So if Dalvin Cook does go down, I get Madison here. I can kind of just not have to worry. And if Dalvin Cook goes down, then I have 4 absolutely insane running backs. As long as Clyde, does Clyde things. Oh, no. We may get benched here. we may very, very well get pinched on this Mike Gesicki deal. It would be a little tough. We would have to probably take 3 tight ends then in this scenario. This would actually be really annoying if Mike Gesicki does not fall to us. Kind of ruining our plan with this guy taking Kokomet and Fryermuth here. Really annoying. Has to put us in a little bit of a scare. If not, we could still take Jacoby Myers, though. I would be too mad about that. Triple toe. Takes Jahan Dotson here. We can get one of our 2 guys then. Whether that be Jacoby Myers or Mike Gesicki. This team is so even, honestly. Jacoby Myers coming off the board. We'll take Gesicki. Now we still only have to start 2 tight ends, which is really, really nice. I do like that. And now we just hammer wide receivers pretty much the entire rest of the draft. We take one more running back just to be safe. Maybe we get Khalil Herbert. Again, just to be safe, because Khalil Herbert did fill in for David Montgomery very, very well. Or Tyler Algier, one of those type of guys. Where's Khalil Herbert go? 161. Yeah, okay. Or one of these 3 guys. So any one of these 3. Or these wide receivers. Because we don't need a single other quarterback for the rest of the draft. Single other tight end for the rest of the draft. I mean, maybe one more running back. Wow. Wow, this draft is good. This draft is really, really good to us. This is the most balanced team I've ever had by far. It's not close. We got a little bit of a wide receiver run going here. Devontae Parker, KJ Osborne, Joshua Palmer. And then right before my Gesicki pick, we got Jacoby Myers and Jahan Dotson. It potentially could have been better to take a wide receiver there. But at the same time, we needed a tight end too to keep our team very, very balanced and have a pretty strong tight end room, or at least about average tight end room. Because now I would consider this tight end room at least about average. Alex O coming off the board, and Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's at least an intriguing pick, I think. Pretty low floor, but pretty high upside guy. Last year he did have over 100 targets, but only 50 receptions, which is pretty low generally when you're looking at wide receivers, especially in a ratio. Like, usually you see 100 targets, you expect about 60, 65, maybe 70 receptions. The get 53 is a little gross, but Sam Darnold looked absolutely terrible last season. I mean, it was actually abysmal. He had those 2 games last season where everyone thought he was going to be QB1 on the Panthers. Like, oh my god. I had him, and I traded him away, which is so awesome. Because everyone was thinking Sam Darnold was going to be all that. Like, I know, it's Sam Darnold. Like, come on. Like, what are the odds he's actually really that nice? You see it all the time with quarterbacks in new situations. They'll have 1 or 2 good games. Like Mike White. 1 or 2 good games. And they always end up sulking after that. It's so hard. Taylor Heineke, same thing. You have 1 or 2 magic games. Your first game, yeah, it's magic. Whatever. But never. It's very, very, very hard for that to be sustainable. And just from like a rational perspective, you can't be riding out on Sam Darnold's that type of the world when they haven't done it at all in 3 or 4 seasons of being ass. Now Sam Darnold's gonna be a backup forever. We got Darrell Henderson coming off the board. Naheem Hines. I do think the Carolina Panthers situation is interesting, though. They have a lot of receivers. They have a lot of mouths to feed, including Christian McCaffrey. But if Christian McCaffrey goes down, guys like DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, they'll all be jumping up in value, as well as Donta Foreman or Chuba. Although I think it will be Donta Foreman. Jameson Crowder coming off the board at pick 146. 147. We are up again in a little bit. I don't know who we're going to take just yet. There is a couple players that I really like, whether that be Van Jefferson. I would like Van Jefferson a lot here because he does offer a lot of boom potential in the offense that he's in. He could easily go out there and have 2 30-point weeks, which would make his value enough in my eyes, honestly, in a team like this. It would make my team actually like really like pretty decent, I do like this team so much. But yeah, if we do get Van Jefferson here, he will offer a ton of explosion into our offense, which is exactly what we want at this point. Because we do have a lot of very, very stable options. Now we kind of need an explosive guy to kind of counter that and give us those 2 or 3 boom weeks where he drops 30. Van Jefferson does come off the board here. A little disappointing. Now we got Kenneth Gainwell coming off the board. We're going to go Algier. We keep switching it up. We either take Algier or we take Davis Price. But here we are going to go Algier. And now, wide receiver. We are going to wide receiver town for the rest of this draft. We're not taking a single other position aside from wide receiver here. We're getting guys like Alec Pierce. We're getting guys like George Pickens, Paris Campbell, KJ Hamler, Will Fuller, Juan Dale, Devin Duvernay, AJ Green, David Bell. We're taking all of these guys, as many as we can get our hands on. We're going to have probably 9 wide receivers then, which is nice. It's really nice, honestly. I love having a lot of wide receivers. And we do have some good running backs. Some actually phenomenal running backs here. We got Gus Edwards, Robert Tonyan, Trevor Lawrence coming off the board here. This has been a pretty long draft, honestly. People take a while in this draft room to make picks. Sometimes I understand it. Sometimes you're in a position where you need to take your time and wait to make a pick. But other times I don't get waiting the whole clock to make a pick. Especially, I see people at like the 101, the 102 deciding who they want to take. And it's like, what decision could you really have here? Like, there's only like 2 guys you could really be deciding between. But it is fair. If you have the full 30 seconds, you should be allowed to use it. Like this guy is. Waiting a full 30 seconds to take Daniel Jones. Well, what that debate could have been, I really don't know in his head, but it is funny. And while we are here, if you guys could, again, please, 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 if you're still watching the video, go down, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how you think I did, if there's any busts, great players you think are up and coming for this season. Khalil Herbert comes off the board at 158. And if you really enjoy the video, you think I'm a terrible drafter and want to laugh at me, very good drafter, you want to take some advice from me, whatever it is, please consider subscribing. It would really mean the world to me. It'd make my day, make my night. And thank you guys so, so, so much for all that you do, all the views you guys provide, and all the love and support you guys give me. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're in a position where I might actually take a 6th running back here. I never usually do, honestly. I really never do. But if we are taking, the rest of our picks are wide receivers, we might go Tyrion Davis-Price here. No fan comes off the board. We will go Tyrion Davis-Price. I think here it is kind of smart. We'll go 6 running backs, which I never usually do. We'll go 6 running backs, and then just fill the rest of our draft board with wide receivers. We got 4 picks left. 4 picks, 4 wide receivers. So we get 8 wide receivers. 2, 6, 8, 2. I think that is fairly interesting. Usually not the build I go for, but it's not that far off. And we can afford it because we have 2 tight ends that are decent enough, 2 great quarterbacks, and fire wide receivers. Absolutely fire wide receivers. Wide receivers I love to get in all my drafts. And most of them, I mean, at least Keenan Allen came to me at value. Deontay, I would honestly consider this value for Deontay. I don't think a lot of people would, though. And then Christian Watson, I think this is supreme value for Christian Watson. Again, a lot of people would probably disagree with me, and that's why he's going so low. But I will keep ringing the bell on that man until you guys realize what you guys are missing out on here. We got Mac Jones, we got Njoku, we got Higbee, and Carter. Carter, somebody who's been absolutely falling down draft boards, and it's really not hard to see why. Michael Carter gets Breece Hall coming into that offense. Breece Hall is going to take every touch almost. I think Michael Carter will still be involved a little bit in the passing game. And as a relief back, I mean, last year they did kind of use Michael Carter, not in a 3-down work role, but it was like 1st and 3rd down privileges kind of thing. So he did definitely get touches. I liked Michael Carter last year because I thought, who else were they gonna use? And Michael Carter's frame isn't really also conducive to getting a full workload. I think that's kind of why they really wanted Breece Hall, and they traded up to get him early in the 2nd round. When you go up and trade for a guy early in the 2nd round, especially with the talent level of Breece Hall, I think honestly Breece Hall is going to be an amazing running back this year. I think it's really interesting. There's a lot of running backs, especially in the 3rd and 4th rounds. I would say like ETN, Cam Akers, and Breece Hall, who all have not gotten a snap in the NFL, I guess aside from Cam Akers, last year. And we kind of have to pick and evaluate between these 3 guys and these 3 positions. Obviously, they all have very different circumstances, but all very similar at the same time. They are tied together. Uh, Travis Etienne coming in, uh, getting every single valuable touch in that offense. He's going to get a ridiculous amount of receptions. And that's probably why I would have him above the other two. But then Brees Hall and Cam Akers, it's really, really tough because we don't know how many touches Brees Hall is going to get. We don't know how many touches Cam Akers is going to get. I do think Cam Akers is going to probably get almost every single touch in his offense, and that's why I probably would very, very slightly lean Cam Akers over Brees Hall. But the case could easily be made for Brees Hall as well. Brees Hall offers so much upside with his profile. He could be an every down workhorse back, which is something you really don't find at pick 48 or 44 whenever he's taken. Cam Akers does not also offer the same receiving upside that Brees Hall does offer. But Cam Akers is in a much better team. It is interesting. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, Brees Hall or Cam Akers. I think there is definitely a debate to be made. Here we got KJ Hamler coming off the board. Now we got a lot of these shot in the dark type guys coming off. We're going to take Alec Pierce and hopefully Paris Campbell and just touch a lot of this wide receiver 2. Try and get as many wide receiver 2s in this Indiana offense as possible. Because I do think they're going to have to spread the ball out a little more than they did. They had absolutely nobody last year at their wide receiver 2 position. And still, Michael Pittman was not that successful. All things considered. But we have Alec Pierce here. 177. Marvin Jones coming off the board at pick 175, too. My apologies for the yawn. We got George Pickens coming off the board. Will Fuller, Corey Davis. Baker Mayfield, too. We may actually be going. I don't want to do this. I can't justify taking Deshaun Watson here. Nico Collins off the board at pick 179, 180, 181. We'll have. I'm imagining probably some more wide receivers. This guy needs a little bit more wide receivers from what it looks like from this bar up top. Here goes Hayden Hurst. I take it back. He's getting the third tight end, which is honestly fair, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't do it personally if you had Freiermuth or Cole Kmet. Freiermuth and Kmet. But you do you, man. You do you. It's not terrible, I guess. I wouldn't do it, but it's not terrible. We're probably going to go Paris Campbell here, if possible. He may fall, or he may... Oh my god, wow. Deshaun Watson is actually climbing up boards yet again. I was seeing him at a point at like 204, 205. Now he's coming all the way up, pick 182. I think people are starting to realize that they vastly were overreacting with the Deshaun Watson case. And now we're starting to take him again. If he does fall to me at pick 200, I will gladly take him. But I don't think that's going to be the case. We're just hoping for Paris Campbell here, though. I think Paris Campbell's probably our best option. We don't need any of these running backs. There's too many on the board. Too many running backs on the board for us to take Deshaun Watson. Or for us to... Oh, my God. Paris Campbell gets sniped. It's because I'm tired, I guess. I'm going to take Wandale. Wandale, again, second-round draft capital. Can't ignore second-round draft capital. Deshaun Watson coming off the board at the 1606, meaning we will not be getting Deshaun Watson here. But that is okay, because we already have two pretty dang good quarterbacks here. And we are scooping Deshaun Watson in so many leagues. Now that he is like a huge value, I think people are starting to realize that. We are getting him everywhere. Brevin Jordan, Taysom Hill come off the board. I don't even honestly understand taking guys like that. Maybe Taysom Hill, you figure he could be quarterbacking for a tiny bit, which will improve his value. And could play pretty much every position. That's fair. But Brevin Jordan and Austin Hooper, maybe Brevin Jordan has a tiny bit of upside that I'm just not realizing. But, I mean, it's Brevin Jordan. Austin Hooper, same thing. Realistically, how many touches are these guys going to get? I should say the same thing about Isaiah McKenzie and J.D. McKissick. I mean, I just don't understand how you'd take J.D. McKissick at all. Although last year he did have kind of 2 boom weeks, I just don't think he's going to be getting that much of a workload to where you can really justify it. Here we got Broncos is up. Whoopsies. I guess just to check this out. So this is 30% filled now, the Best Ball Mania drafts. There's 134 current entrants with 451,000 total entrants. The entry fee is $25 per draft. And it is Best Ball, which basically means that whoever plays the best that week, like let's say Van Jefferson drops 30 points, and Cooper Kupp drafts 10, it will automatically insert Van Jefferson into your starting lineup over Cooper Kupp, even though Cooper Kupp is a better player. So you never have to check your lineup or anything. It's just whoever drafts the best. So you literally never have to worry about setting your lineup, anything like that. You have up to 150 entries. Here's the prize breakdown. Prize breakdown's pretty interesting. We got $2 million for first, $1 million for second, and so on and so forth. Even if we don't get, first or top 10 or something like that, there are still other great prizes. Even if we get, 300 or something like that, 200 to 301, I would still be fine with $2,500 because one or two of these we will make our money back, or $10,000, something like that. And it goes all the way down up until where this is pretty much if you win your league, you're making some money back, $35. Nothing crazy, but what we're really going for is maximizing our chances to try and get 500,000, 200,000, 100,000, one of these prizes, so we can make a lot of money. And then these are just all the rules and everything like that. It's pretty interesting to see. This guy's got 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 5 wide receivers, and 3 tight ends. That's a little nasty, man. That's a little nasty. Taysom Hill, Dawson Knox, and Tyler Higbee. We're pretty much almost up again. We're going to take Devin Duvernay here, most likely. Julio Jones could be an interesting possibility as well, but we're going to take Devin Duvernay for nearly guaranteed volume. Even though I do think chasing wide receiver volume is more tough than chasing running back volume, I think that, Devin Duvernay coming off the board. All right, we'll take Julio. Julio should be signed somewhere, honestly. I'm not 100% sure he will be, but he could be, and he has the talent to be a decent wide receiver, as we saw the past 10 years. I mean, Julio Jones was absolutely phenomenal. He had one of the best stretches in wide receiver history, honestly. Like he's easily the second best wide receiver of our generation, behind Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, I mean, obviously he's just better than Julio. I mean, there's pretty much no debating it. But Julio is easily the second best, and it's not close, especially with prime Matt Ryan. Now, totally different story with Julio, but he should get signed somewhere. I imagine it's not impossible that he doesn't get signed somewhere, and that was a waste of a pick. But at this point, where it's pick 200, we're picking guys like Curtis Samuel and John Mechie. I mean, realistically, hey, what upside is totally offered by these guys? Here we probably will take David Bell here too, just in the hopes that Deshaun Watson plays and likes David Bell. Pretty much, that's the philosophy. And he gets taken, so we'll probably end up taking James Washington. We keep rotating off these guys that we think we're going to take, and then they get sniped. But James Washington offers us some pretty decent upside, especially in the first 2 weeks when Michael Gallup is out. Maybe gets a chance to shine, gets a starting role. But anyways, guys, that should just about wrap up the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment. If you really did enjoy, please consider subscribing. You can always change your mind later. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Here we're just going to be taking James Washington after. Oh my god. I got to stop doing that. Oh man. Totally ruining my conclusion portion to my video. I have no idea what we're going to take now. Screw it. We're going to throw a dart at a wall. No, I'm not doing that. No. We'll take Tyquan Thornton here. The reason why I'm taking Tyquan Thornton here is because Tyquan Thornton, a very field stretchy type wide receiver. If he does get 2 absolute bomb touchdowns, 80-yard touchdowns, it is a best ball format, so I will be able to take advantage of something like that for Tyquan Thornton. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have an awesome day.